which is a reflection of share of varieties in national perspective. It's almost close to 48-49%. So 50% of the total breeder seed in India comes from the variety developed by Dr. Yadav. And also he pioneered the development of 00 mustard, where the erucic acid is less than 2%, glucose is less than 30 micromole. And these varieties are globally called canola, but here they have been named as Indola. We are trying with many organizations, including Patanjali with Power Ramdev, to take it on a forefront for commercialization. So Dr. Yadav has many recognition to his credit. He is Fellow of National Academy of Agricultural Sciences. He is awarded with Dr. Pigoi Award and NASA Recognition Award. These are all very prestigious recognitions, and has been actively engaged in research and teaching at IRI. And for the last close to 3 years, he has been working also as additional responsibility as Assistant Director General Seeds at ICAR headquarters. And it is in that capacity he has been really a great help to IRI in pushing forward many of our projects, proposal, ideas. And any one of you must have experienced when you have to go for a foreign visit or any problem that you have, and there is only one single window solution, and that is Dr. Yadav at ICAR. So it's my indeed great pleasure to welcome Dr. Yadav for this presentation, and I hope that you are all going to have a treat in his lecture, Understanding the Seed System in India, because seed security is related to food security, and that's where this topic is very, very important.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your very kind words. Honorable Dr. A.K. Singh ji, Director IRI, Dr. Viswanathan, Coordinator of this CAST program, Madam Rashmi Agrawal, Dean and Joint Director IRI, all other CAST executive team members, faculty members from the various ICAR institutes, state agriculture universities and SAUs, and the students from the various institutions including IRI and other institutions across the country, professors and heads of IRI, my all colleagues, and the various participants from the other public and private sectors also. So I welcome you all for this talk, and I'm highly thankful to Dr. A.K. Singh that he gave me this opportunity. Actually, you all are aware that this lecture, today's webinar, was to be delivered by Dr. Trilochan Mahapatra ji, our esteemed Director General, but because of some meeting already going since morning 10 a.m., he showed his inability at this time. So then I was given this responsibility. So I am highly thankful to the team, CAST, NHEP, as well as the Director for giving me this opportunity. So colleagues, my topic which I have been given is the National Seed System and Policy Perspective. So you all are well aware that the seed is one of the most important input in the agriculture, and generally it is quoted that whatsoever the inputs you are giving, if your seed is of not good quality, so all your inputs generally go waste. And as per the experimentations and so many that studies, they show that if the good quality seed is used, so your productivity enhancement is generally up to 15 to 20%. And if you are using the improved varieties, then that productivity goes up to 40%. So seed is the actually most vital input in any of the agriculture production system. So keeping that point in view, this topic has been selected. So first
can you go to the slideshow mode, Dr. Yadav? Slideshow.
Thank you, sir. So as you all are well aware that for development of the varieties, when we talk of the seed, so we need some good varieties. So for development of the variety, a very good and strong network of varietal improvement program is required. So in the council, our crop science division is the division which deals with all the field crops. And presently we are addressing 59 total field crops at the Division of Crop Science in ICR with our 28 ICR institutes and 22 AICRP centers across the country and 22 network projects. And if we see the total 66 schemes in the crop science division are there. For horticulture crop varieties, the horticulture division is there. And in that case, again, 34 various schemes and institutions, they are working on the horticulture crop varietal improvement program. If we talk of the total manpower under the ICR system in crop science division, including all the crop science institutes, so we have total 2076 positions of the various disciplines of crop science in the total ICR system. And in horticulture science, again, there are more than 900 scientists. So total almost 3,000 scientists in ICR itself, they are working on the improvement of field and horticulture crops. We talk of this All India Coordinated Research Project programs. India has a very robust system of AICRPs. The first AICRP was initiated during 1950 with the initiation of AICRP on maize. And after that, we have in crop science division today total 22 AICRPs in different crops. And if we talk of these AICRPs, so the ICR is paying 75% of the total expenditures on the salaries and the contingent amount of all these scientists, AICRP centers, which are located in the various SAUs and Central Agriculture Universities, including the ICR institutes. So in this direction, if we see, so in these total AICRPs, we have total 731 centers across the country, and there are 1,783 scientists who are placed in the various AICRPs of the different crops across the country, with 1,850 technical staff, 247 administrative staff, and 188 supporting staff, which are working through the funding of ICR in the various ICR, the state agriculture universities and the other institutions. So the 75% of the funding of all these staff is going from ICR, including their salary as well as the contingent part. Regarding the varietal improvement program, ICR has, including our total national agriculture research system, including ICR Institute and the state agriculture universities, till now, since 1969, we have 5,164 varieties released of the various field crops. The crops which I have mentioned, 59 crops ICR is dealing. And during last 5 years, the very good progress has been made, where we have developed 1,234 varieties, out of which almost 1,000 varieties are having climate resilience for one or the other abiotic and biotic stresses. And in addition, amongst these varieties, we have now 53, 49 from crop sciences and 4 from horticulture crops, 5 fortified varieties for the various micronutrients and other quality traits. And also the use of genomics tools is also very common now. And now during last 4 or 5 years, we have released 48 varieties which have been developed by the use of genomic tools. If we see the share from the ICR Institute and state agriculture universities as well as the private sector, so out of these 1,234 varieties, there is 50% share of the centrally released varieties and the state released varieties, and the public sector share is major, that is almost 89%, and private sector share in case of rice, maize, pearl millet, and some of the oil seeds, it is 11%. Regarding the seed systems, the topic which we have to discuss today. So the seed system in India that initiated from IARI, as the AICRP base was initiated, and there were 4 hybrids which were identified during 1960s. So the country felt that we should have also a mechanism which should have the system to evaluate these hybrids and then go for the release or what sort of identification system. So the government of India, it constituted various very high-level committees and commissions which visited the various foreign countries, and they that identified some of the very successful model from those countries. And in that requirement of the seed quality traits, the seed testing laboratory was established during 1961 in the erstwhile division of botany, now division of genetics. So this seed testing laboratory was the first initiation towards the quality seed production. And later on, during 1963, this National Seed Corporation was also initiated. This seed testing laboratory was later on of seed technology during 1968. And then during 1984, the present name of this division of seed science and technology at IRI that was given. So during that period, the government of India launched so many schemes for the enhancement or development of the seed program in the country. So one of the attempts towards that was the initial implementation of the National Seed Project 1 during 1977-78, which gave a huge funding towards the Sega Seed Project during 10th 5-year plan. And the main objective of this project was to strengthen all the seed producing centers across the country. And under this AICRP MSP crops, in fact, if we the total seed network in India, so we have almost 51 ICR institutes, including crop science and the horticulture science institutes, plus 60 state agriculture universities based horticulture and field crop based. There are 717 Krishi Vigyan Kendras. Now there are in 3 crops, the Ministry of Agriculture has launched the seed hubs, 150 in case of pulses, and 35 in case of oilseeds, and 25 in case of millets. And the farmers participatory seed production program as one of the activity under the ICR seed project and the government of India's seed village scheme. So these are the government schemes which are working on the as a seed delivery system. The National Seed Corporation, you all are well aware that is the largest system which is having almost 22,000 hectares of land of its own, and then they go for the contractual farming at farmers field also. 17 states have their independent state seed corporations which deal with the seed production program. There are 25 state seed certification agencies taking care of the quality seed production. And then the laboratory testing, there are 132 notified seed testing laboratories across the various states. And there is one central seed testing laboratory which was earlier established at IRI, and now it has gone to the National Seed and Training Research Institute at Varanasi. And there are 22 ISTA member laboratories, out of which 6 laboratories are ISTA accredited. In addition to that, we have a very strong private system and partnership in our country, and there are almost 500 large and medium-sized private seed companies which are working for the various seed production and seed research aspects. And earlier there was a journal that things were there that mostly the private companies, they are more involved in case of the low volume and high value crops. But now there are companies which are coming in the areas of high volume crops also, and a large number of companies either through their own R&D program or by licensing the varieties, which our directors are just telling that there are almost 300 licensees with IRI itself, who are taking the licenses of these various varieties, and they are going for their seed production and marketing. So in our country also, almost out of these 524, 25 that large companies are there which have their own research and development program, and they have their own seed processing plants, and all the seed development system is there in India itself. So first I will come to the ICR seed production system involving all the state agriculture universities. So as I told that these are the 2 schemes from ICR which are coordinating the whole of the country's breeder seed production program particularly. So ICR, this AICRP on NSP crops, it has 2 components, but one is the breeder seed production program. So it has total 41 centers across the country in 34 state agriculture universities and 21 ICR institutes. And out of these, there are 24 centers which are dealing with the seed technology research component. And last year, we produced 1.17 lakh quintals of breeder seed through these this network of the in various ICR institutes and the SAUs. The ICR seed project, again, it is having 63 centers, and the major objective of this project is that that development of the infrastructure facilities across the country in the various SAU system and training component, as well as this component is also dealing with the farmers participatory seed production program, where generally the latest release varieties are taken, so that the latest varieties they are demonstrated at farmers field, and their sufficient quantity of seed is produced through foundation and that certified seed at the farmers field, and they can reach to the farmers in the shortest of time, and generally more than 4,000 quintals, 4 lakh quintals of seed across the 63 centers of this program is being produced. If we talk of the total breeder seed production program, if we see during 1981-82 through this graph, we could produce hardly 4,000 quintals of seed. Today, against the intent of almost 85,000 quintals of breeder seed of almost 51 crops which we are taking, and there are 1,330 varieties breeder seed was taken during last year, and we could produce more than 1.15 lakh quintals of breeder seed, almost 30% higher than the intended quantity. So that is the strength of this system, and this AICRP, NSP and this ICR seed project, both these components, both these programs are responsible for that. In fact, for the information of all participants, this breeder seed production is the mandate of managing all this breeder seed production program throughout the country of the various varieties released from the various states. Likewise, this ICR seed project, as I have told, that it is also contributing a huge in popularization of the latest varieties. So during last year, we could produce 4.3 lakh quintals of quality seed, including the foundation certified, and some quantity of breeder seed was also produced through this program, so that the new varieties they can reach to the farmers at the shortest time. The participatory seed production program, as I have told, that this was initiated from IRE itself, and we out of our almost 10,000 quintals of the quality seed which we are producing, almost 95% of this quality seed through our participatory seed production program at seed production unit at IRI, our IRI regional station Karnal, IRI regional station Pusa, Bihar and Indore, we are producing at the farmers field. So this program has a triple advantage. Number one, the farmers, they are being trained for the seed production activities, and then they become, most of the farmers, progressive farmers, they turned as the entrepreneur in the seed program. Secondly, the new varieties, they are going to the farmers, and the farmers, they are seeing their live demonstration there, and they develop a confidence. And next year, the intent of the new varieties that is coming at a very high quantity. And third, if the farmers, they want to take the seed there, so then again there is a provision that the seed is being delivered at the farmer's doorstep after having the processing and all that. So this is one of the very important activities which is very crucial for the seed delivery system, particularly for the newly released varieties. Then during 16-17, the government of India initiated a program in case of pulses. You all are well aware that against the requirement of 23-24 million tons of pulses, we were producing somewhere 17 million tons of pulses in our country. So the government, the major issues were the availability of good quality seed, because in most of the pulses, the seed replacement rate was very low, and availability of seed was also very less, because in case of chickpea and some of the other pulse crops, the quantity of seed required was very high. So the 150 seed hubs at the financial support of almost 5,500 crores were launched by the DSE, and ICR was actually all these programs through our AICRP centers in the this SAUs and the ICR institutes, as well as through the KVK. And now a huge quantity of seed, foundation seed and certified seed was produced. And today we see that now we have become almost near to self-sufficiency in case of pulses. And with the implementation of these programs during last 3 years, there is a tremendous increase in the varietal replacement rate as well as the seed replacement rate in case of pulses. You see the implementation, after implementation of the seed program, we have tremendously increased our pulse production, and now the availability as well as the total production throughout our country. Earlier the imports were very high, and now we are almost gone very down towards the total imports from the 6.6 million tons during 2016-17 to almost 2.53 million tons, and we are almost near self-sufficiency. That was because of the availability of good quality seed to the farmers of the newly released varieties, which facilitated the enhancement and leading towards the self-sufficiency. Likewise, one of the program of the government of India through DSE, which is also again being implemented by some of the state governments as well as our ICR Institute and SAUs, that is the Seed Village program of the ICR, this DAC. This program was actually launched from IRA itself with the introduction of the yielding varieties of wheat at that time from the Jonti village in Delhi. And now this program, that is a national program, and this program almost 50 to 60% of the assistance, financial assistance is given for the foundation and certified seed. The farmers, they are given training about the quality seed, and the various seed storage bins and other small things, they are also allowed to purchase under this program. And during last 6 years, if we see, we have total, the BSc has released 6,627 crores of rupees and involving 1.25 crores of farmers and produced all covering 2.98 lakh of villages and 597.23 lakh quintals of seed has been produced. So main purpose of this program is that farmers, they are generally growing their own farm saved seed. Our studies, they show that the on farm saved seed, they have been found highly infested with the various insects as well as with the diseases, and which leads to the poor germination as well as the poor production due to the this incidence of the various diseases. So just to make the farmers aware that how to maintain the quality of their own saved seed, also this scheme was launched, which is working very nicely. With the implementation of these various schemes, almost we are above the prescribed limits of the seed production or the seed replacement rate. Generally, for the self-pollinated crops, the seed replacement rate is 33%. That after every third year, we have to replace this seed. For open cross-pollinated crops, we have to replace the seed at every alternate years, and for hybrids, we have to replace the seed every year. So if we see in almost all the crops, replacement rate is very high, though it is varying from state to states. In case of some of the states, it is very high, and in some of the states, still it is below the minimum requirements of the seed replacement rate, which requires to be improved. Now, how the seed system is working in the country. So the organizational sector, that setup which is working, the DAC is actually the main agency which is dealing with all the quality seed, including the breeder seed. Breeder seed component is taken care of us in terms of the allotment and the production, but the other foundation and certified seed, that is the mandate or the duty of the DAC. So all the state governments, they are giving the indents of the breeder seed in 3 years in the advance, anticipating with their own seed rolling plan of the states. And this indent is given by all the states, including in the name of the different varieties. And this indent comes to the seed section of DAC. Joint Secretary Seed is generally dealing with this component, which is the counterpart of ADG seed in ICR. And then the various, because as I told, we have almost 500 private seed companies. So their indent is coming through their seed associations. So the seed associations, they prepare the comprehensive list of the various varieties of the various seed companies, and that list is supplied to the JS seed. And the various NGOs, voluntary organizations, and the various government seed corporations, including the state seed corporation, national seed corporation, and even the various government of India undertakings like IFCO, National Seed Corporation, this NSC. So all these indenters, they are giving their indent variety wise to the DAC, and we, in collaboration with DAC, we define this, that which variety seed we have to take, because in general it has been observed that most of these states earlier, they were sending the indents of very old varieties, and that's why the new varieties, they were not getting the chance to produce the breeder seed and to reach the seed chain. So now for last 3 years after my joining, we have devised a system that before finalization of the indent of the breeder seed during Kharif as well as the Rabi season, we are generally calling all the state seed corporation, all our project coordinators and directors who are dealing with the new varieties and the seed production program, and then we sit together in the Krishi Bhavan, and at least generally now we are holding the 2 meetings. Before the meeting, we are circulating all the latest release varieties during 4 or 5 years along with their characteristics, as well as seeing the possibility of available of the nucleus seed. Sometimes we are getting the indents for the new varieties, but in the non-availability of the nucleus seed, generally we are not able to provide the seed, that which leads to the varietal mismatches in general. So these are the various indenting agencies. So once BSc finalizes this indent in consultation with ICR, then this indent is generally communicated to our various crop directorates. So that communication goes variety wise and the state wise and the various indenting agency wise. And then during the All India Coordinated Research Annual Group meetings, this seed is allotted to the various universities and ICR institutes whose varieties have been indented. In some of the cases, it has been seen the indent, saying that the indent is very huge, and one institute or one university is not able to produce the whole quantity of breeder seed. Then during that workshop itself, the other institutions or the ICR, SAU centers, they are identified and they are provided with the nucleus seed, and they produce the breeder seed of that varieties under the supervision of the concerned breeder of that variety. So that is the general system, and based on that production, and in this breeder seed production, there is a system of breeder seed production performing. So the BSP1, breeder seed production performance 1, is when we are allotting the seed to the various centers. Then BSP2 is supplied by the various seed producing centers within 1 month of the sowing of the crop, that I have sown this much of the area of that particular variety, so that in ICR we can know that yes, he has sown the sufficient area which will be providing this much quantity of breeder seed which has been indented by the various agencies. Then BSP3 is another performa where a monitoring team is constituted by the various crop-based institutions, and this monitoring team involving the State Seed Corporation, National Seed Corporation, and the concerned state seed certification agency representative and concerned breeder, they are visiting to the breeder seed plots and they monitor the quality of breeder seed in terms of the various conditions which should be fulfilled in terms of the physical and genetic purity of that seed plot. And then BSP4 is the production figures which we are supplying, and BSP5 is the proforma that gives the, then after production when we supply the BSP4 to DAC, so during next season that breeder seed is being allotted to the various indenting agencies. Sometimes it happens that that the quantity of particular variety, say USA, this HD 2967 was indented 3000 quintals, and we could produce hardly 2500 quintals of breeder seed. So the various indenting agencies, then the distribution is also done proportionately by reducing some quantity of seed, and this BSP, based on BSP4, these agencies, this DAC is allotting the seed to the various agencies for lifting, and generally a cut-off date is given to the various agencies, like in case of Kharif crop, 15th of the May is the cut-off date for lifting the breeder seed of the various crop varieties. So then after lifting, the BSP5 is sent to DAC that this and this agency has lifted this much quantity of breeder seed, and then BSP6 has to keep the track of this breeder seed, that how much quantity of this breeder seed was converted to foundation and certified seed. So that is the system of breeder seed in the country. Then this breeder seed is used for the production of foundation seed. Foundation seed is generally produced by the National Seed Corporation, State Seed Development Corporation, ICR and SAUs, and the public sector undertakings, private sector, NGO, VOs, and farmers producer organizations. So in this case, this is generally one category is the certified seed. So the state seed certification agencies, after registering their seed production program with the certification agency, they are going for the certification of that seed. And in that certification also, one of the scientists from the seed technology discipline, either from the SAUs or from the ICR Institute, they are also part of that to see the genetic purity and the genetic and physical purity of that certified or foundation seed production plot. For quality control, generally, as I have told, that the seed certification agencies, which are 25 now in number in the various states, and there are 132 seed testing laboratories across the various states, which is taking care of that. And to further just confirm how these seed testing laboratories are working, 5% of the samples are being taken from the market by the central seed testing laboratories, which are tested at this Varanasi NSRTC, and just to confirm whether they are following the proper protocols for this seed testing and quality control or not. So that is the general system of the certified up to certified seed production. Then the students, they might have gone through the various courses of seed technology and even plant breeding also. There are the various tags for the various quality of seeds, like this in case of the breeder seed, we have the golden yellow color tag. For foundation seed, there is white seed, white colored seed, certified is azure blue. And for this TL seed, it is the opal green tag is there. So these are the tags which signifies that this is the actually quality, that type of class of the seed which is produced. So one can see from the bag itself, and on the bag one another tag is also put there, giving the various seed quality parameters in terms of genetic purity, their germination, weed seeds, and moisture content, and all these things are given on those tags on the various seed bags which are being sold. So there are some international schemes also which are working, that implemented in our country. One of the scheme is this OECD scheme, which, so just to compare with their standards, they have also almost this type of system available in their various countries. 61 countries are the member of this OECD scheme, and they have also some of the quality standards. If we talk like in case of our all these quality standards, they are being taken referred through one of our book, Indian Minimum Seed Certificates and Standards, which is being updated time to time with the various seed technology experiments which we are doing through our AICRP NSP program. And in that case, there are various parameters of seed quality like the genetic purity, physical purity, germination, other crop seeds, weed seeds, and the moisture percent and obnoxious seeds. So these are the parameters of the various seed quality traits which are taken care of. So for that, the Indian system is referring to the Indian Minimum Seed Certification Standards. And in most of the crops, we have well-developed Indian seed standards, and all the seed certification agencies, they are referring these standards while going for the certification. The OECD seed scheme, this Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development scheme, as I told, it is there are total 61 member countries, including India, and we are also taking in India the seed production program for the OECD scheme. So total 246 varieties they have been that included in the OECD list of the varieties, and particularly the Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, and Rajasthan. These three states, they are now involved in the seed production program of the OECD scheme, and they are sending, and during last 4 or 5 years in 5 countries, Egypt, Sudan, Philippines, and Russia, Tanzania, the seed produced under OECD scheme has been supplied to these countries from India. Likewise, another scheme is that is not a scheme but a component of EU equivalence, where the European Union is not importing any quantity of seed from our country, because they want that once we should have the seed standards equivalent to the EU country. So in that case, recently an audit was held by a team from the EU Union, and they have given some suggestions, and we are trying to be equivalent to the EU in terms of the various quality traits. They have some stringent measures for particularly the quality seed standards. So that is being taken care of, and we hope that in the times to come, we will be able to have the equivalent quality standards as in case of EU countries. Another scheme is the International Seed Testing Association accreditation. ISTA is one of the agency which is dealing with all the collaborating institute for all the seed matters across the world, and the various protocols which are developed, and they are uniformly implemented by ISTA, and various protocols or recommendations of ISTA, they are being followed for the seed production program across the globe. So in India, we have total 22 laboratories, including IRA laboratories, which is the first of the laboratories in the country, being the member of ISTA. And now total 22 laboratories are there, out of which 6 laboratories are accredited with them, and 16 varieties, and that laboratories, 9 in public sector and 7 in private sector, they are already in the process of accreditation. This ISTA accreditation is like the NABL accreditation in case of the other labs. And once you are getting the ISTA accreditation, so the value of that lab is increasing, and in the international trade of the seed certificates which is being given by the ISTA laboratory, that is recognized throughout the globe. So that is the advantage of being the ISTA accreditation of the laboratories. If we talk of the contribution of the various sectors in the country in terms of the seed production, so generally, that for the DAC figures, 46% of the seed is coming from the informal sector, like the farmers' own saved seed or the barter system or exchange system, and 54% of seed is coming from the formal sector, which I am mentioning in the previous slides. In case of these cereals, the formal sector is major share, 64%. And in case of pulses, the formal sector is having less share, but now this figure has been increased with the implementation of the seed hubs, and oil seeds also it is 44%. So these generally this is a problem of data in case of seed particularly, and all the agencies, including public and private, they are always worried that the data which we are getting in case of the seed share of the public, private, or the formal, informal sector, that is generally varying every time. So for that, DAC has already initiated, and one of the issue is the very high indents of the breeder seed of various varieties. And if we go in real term, so that much quantity is not required. So in that case, where that breeder seed is going, whether they are using that directly as certified seed, or that is not going to the seed chain properly. So in that context, this DAC has already initiated with NIC a seed traceability software, which is already in halfway. And once this software is developed, then the data problem that will be resolved. And the starting from the nucleus seed to the certified seed going to the farmer's field, all the records will be maintained through this software. And how much was the nucleus seed available, how much breeder seed was produced, the company bought this much of breeder seed, how much foundation they have produced, so that the proper seed chain is maintained. And in sometimes the issue of spurious seed is coming, sometimes that uncertified seed is taken, and some of the night by flyer companies, they do this type of job. Otherwise, the well-established companies, they are never adopting this type of practice. So in that case, the farmers, they are sometimes loser. So to avoid this issue, the seed traceability software is already being in the process of development. And through one of this ICR seed project, we undertook this because this was a general complaint from all sectors that the data available is not authentic, that much authentic and believable. So we started this in 20 states with 100 districts to see what quality of seeds and from which sources the farmers are using. So total 7,625 farmers last year they could do, and now this year we targeted for 18,000 farmers in 180 districts, and that data is in the process of compilation. So through that process, we could know that in spite of 46 or 45%, the informal sector share is 37% only, and the formal sector share is 62 or 63%. So that is the real data. And amongst the public, private, and informal sector, again we could find that out of this total 33% seed is coming from the various government agencies, and about 30% seed is coming from the private agencies, and 37% is the informal sector seed. So this study we have done, and now with the implementation of this traceability software, we hope that we'll be getting the actual data. As Director Sir were telling that the seed security generally leads to the food security. So if you see from 1981 till 2017-18, we see that with the enhancement or availability of quality seed, the production of food grains as well oil seeds and pulses, that has also increased proportionately. So the good quality seed is actually the key to the national food security, which is being proved. And now we are this time having almost 295 million tons of estimates now. In the second estimates have come. So that is because of the good quality seed and the various technologies, the production technologies, as well as with the hard work of the farmers we are getting now. The one issue, as I read, that generally the seed indents, they are very high. And we see that myself and Director Sir, we are generally calculating in case of rice and mustard. In case of mustard, we require, if 100% seed replacement is there, so we require only 7.5 quintals of seed at the seed rate of 5 kg per hectare, having 7.5 million hectare area in our country. But generally the indent is coming up to 50-60 quintals of Indian mustard, and we are producing 300-400 quintals of breeder seed. So this breeder seed is a very specific activity. Generally it requires huge manpower as well as the resources are used in that. So in that context, we are trying to have the rationalization of breeder seed, that as I was telling that against the 85,000 quintals of breeder seed, we have produced 1.15 lakh quintals of breeder seed. So just to rationalize that, this figure has been shown that in case of paddy, if we see, we require, if with the current availability, that as per the present ideal seed replacement rate of this 35% in case of rice. We require only 47.81 quintals of certified seed, but we are producing 104.07 quintals of certified seed with the breeder seed indents of 746 quintals. So that is the state in case of wheat also, and in case of pulses, though it is not in abundance, but in most of the crops the breeder seed indents are high. So with the introduction of this, implementation of this seed traceability, I hope this issue will be resolved in the times to come. If we see the deemed revenue being generated through the seed production program per se, so if we talk of this total 1.15 quintals of breeder seed, so its cost across the various crops, the breeder seed is price is being fixed by DSC, so that is 108 crores. So with using the various seed multiplication ratios, and if it goes really in the seed chain, in the foundation seed, then we will be producing 34,000 quintals of quintals of breeder seed, which costs 1,610 crores, and then certified seed is produced 1,742 quintals, which costs 75,885 crores. So seed production itself is a very remunerative, and it is adding to a huge to the total national GDP. And this calculation has been done based on the 100% conversion, though the conversion, as I told, that is not 100%, and based on the breeder seed price which is being fixed by DSC. Colleagues, generally, one issue of varietal mismatch is being discussed in the seed production program, which is a general complaint from the Department of Agriculture and Cooperation and the various state seed agencies. State has indented for a variety A. I was not able to produce the seed of variety A, but I have produced the seed of variety B, which was not indented by the seed producing agency. So I will say that I have produced more than indent which I received, but that is not actually, that is called as the varietal mismatch. So in case when we are not able to provide the seed of indented varieties and we are producing the seed of some other varieties and then offering to the agencies that yes, I have produced, so that is mismatch. In 2015-16, I went, just for your information, when I joined at that time, so the total varietal mismatches were 34%. So our Director General, sir, he was emphasizing every time, because breeder seed review meeting is held where all the state seed producing agencies and our ICR institutes, they are participating in that, and that is a huge gathering of almost 300 people from the state as well as ICR and SAU. So that was a general complaint that we are having high mismatch of the varieties. So in that we tried our best, as the system I told, we generally used to call the various seed producing agencies before the finalization of the indent, and we call our various directors and the project coordinators, and based on the availability of nucleus seed and the seeing the strength of the system, we are generally giving the indent to those agencies, and now it has come down to 17.4%, almost 50% during last 4 years. So that now we are trying to, and the target is to bring it down to almost 5%, which we may be meeting during last 4 to 5 years. Then the share in the breeder seed indents of the public and private sector. So generally their share in case of rice is almost 27%, in case of wheat is 23%, in pulses the private sector is not much involved except in case of moong bean, and in rapeseed mustard it is almost 20% share of the breeder seed is coming from the private sector, and rest of the indents are from the public sector. Our ICR, SAUs and the various NGOs, FPOs are also now they are being provided with the breeder seed. So this was all about the seed production system in our country, and now I'll be taking some 2 more minutes for your regulatory framework in the country. So for the availability of quality seed, generally you all are aware that
Dr. Yadav, I had a suggestion.
Yes, sir.
That the lecture has generated a lot of interest, and we have very, very interesting and many questions.
Yes, sir. Yes,
that
sir.
are lying, and they are running into more than, I think, 30 questions.
Okay.
Very interesting questions. I'm going through each one of these questions, and I feel that these questions must be answered to the extent possible. There are many questions which
So
we may not be able to answer. So we can probably take the questions, and maybe we can have a separate presentation on the regulatory framework, because it's a topic which is very important topic, and it would also require more deliberation. The questions are very, very interesting, and when you will address them, then you will see what are the kinds of questions that are there. So, are issue Varman for the entire this thing? No, you are muted. You are muted.
Sir, we have till 5.
Till 5.
Yes, sir.
So, but there are many questions, I think. So maybe another 10 minutes if you can quickly do. And
5 minutes, sir. I will be doing 5 minutes. Only 5 minutes. Just so you know, for the quality maintenance of the quality and proper production of seed, the regulatory framework is required. So as I told in the beginning that the Seed Act was implemented during enacted during 1966 and it came into force during 1969 and its rules were formulated during 1968. So that is almost now it is 54 years old act which was working, and various amendments came and the various seed control orders for licensing and other issues that came, and that was maintaining our total quality seed production through the regulatory mechanism of the state government and the central government. It was coming, and the government of India also launched many of the schemes for liberalization so that the private sector can also participate in the seed production program. And one of the landmark decision was taken with the implementation of new seed policy on seed development during 1988, where the public-private sector was also given so many that leverages, and due to that the private sector that emerged like anything in our country, and now we are working hand in hand, and a very good system has been developed. So likewise, the new policy on import of seed and planting material was also introduced with the NPSD. Again, the import of seed was started, and this with the new policy, with the establishment of the EXIM committee, regularly the seed export and import system that is being reviewed by that committee, and the various imports they are being allowed. And the national seed policy again that was started during launched during 2002, that was also facilitated in terms of the varietal development, seed production system, quality assurance, and the infrastructure development, and even the issue of transgenics was also discussed in that, and the import, export, and promotion of the domestic seed industry. So these all were the various objectives of those schemes of the government of India which have been implemented, and the result we are seeing that now India is at number 5 as a very robust seed industry globally. So because this Seed Act was very wrong, old at that time, and there are so many developments in the seed sector happened from 66 to 2003. So the government of India and the various experts in the seed and the practically working on seed, they felt that we should bring some new seed bill or the new Seed Act. So during 2004, under the chairmanship of the then Vice Chancellor of APAU, Hyderabad, Dr. M.V. Rao, he was made the chairman of the committee, Seed Policy Review Committee, and a group was formulated, and with the involvement of the various experts, a legislation, that draft legislation in the name of Seed Bill 2004, that was put to the Rajya Sabha during 2004 after approval of the cabinet, and after so many years it was tried 5-6 times to take it back to the Lok Sabha, and during 2004 it was recommended to the standing committee, which gave some 52 recommendations, out of which many have been accepted, few have been not been accepted. So the seed bill is being discussed for almost 16 years now, and every time we are referring seed bill. So the government of India during this phase 2, our Prime Minister has directed that the seed bill should come, because there are so many issues which are not being addressed with in terms of quality and the transgenics we are discussing now time and again. So this seed bill was now it is almost in the final stage and may be introduced in the next session, because this time it was to be introduced, but because of the COVID it could not be done. So the major, I'll be highlighting some 4 or 5 points in that, because that is already under consideration and that is not a final recommendation. Also there may be some changes after discussion in the parliament also, but some of the crisp points which I'll be discussing, that earlier the definition of agriculture includes only agriculture and horticulture, but now the forestry, plantation crops, medicinal aromatic plants, and mulberry, they have also been included, broadening the sphere of the Seed Act. The Central Seed Committee, earlier also there was Seed Committee, and now for the registration, that is the registration subcommittee at the central level as well as the state level. Presently there was a committee known as the Central Subcommittee on Crop Standards, Notification and Release of Varieties. So now that has been renamed, and the constitution of the Central Committee, that includes the farmers also, that includes the industrial seed company people also, and the state government also. Earlier, the farmers and the seed industry people were not there in that committee. So that is the change. And the regional representations from all the states, the state governments on that rotation basis, that has also been ensured. And the Secretary DAC is the chairman of that committee. And from our ICR, DDG Crop Sciences, ADG Seed, Director NBPGR, Director NRC Plant Biotechnology. So many, and some of the vice chancellors of the state agriculture universities are also will be the members of this committee. On the same way, one subcommittee is on the seed certification also at the central level, and in the states also the respective committees will be there. So the registration committee's task will be now under the new seed bill. One of the major changes is that all the variety seed which any private or public sector will be producing and marketing, that has to be registered compulsorily. Earlier, that was not compulsory, and only public sector through the AICRP system we were producing this, developing and releasing the varieties, and most of the private companies, they were selling in the name of that research varieties, and they were not going for the certification also, because for certification generally the notification was necessary. So that has been made mandatory. So in the states also there will be the certification, state certification subcommittee as well as the state registration committee will be there. In case of registrations, the transgenics have also been included, and the evaluation of performance, the VCU generally will be taken by ICR, and the workload will be enhanced like anything, because earlier all the companies, they were not coming to the this varietal release system. As you have seen that 89% varieties are from public sector which are being released and notified, and only 11% varieties are from the private sector. But now all the private sector will also be coming. So for that we require a very huge infrastructure for the evaluation of that variety, and in that case the government is planning even to accredit some of the private agencies also for the VCU test. The new one component has been added, that we have to give the performance of the variety along with when we are giving the seed. So the expected performance will also have to be revealed by the seed producing, either the dealer or the producer or the marketing agency. So in fact, there is a provision of compensation to the farmers also, and then the seed producer and the processing units will also have to be registered. The seed dealers will also have to be registered, and plant nursery, even the horticulture nurseries, that will also have to be registered. So registration has been made compulsory, which was not earlier. Then the regulation of sale of the seed. So certification is also has been recommended to be made compulsory, and in that case the seed health has also been added. Earlier only germination and purity parameters, which I have been telling in earlier slides, that was there, but now the seed health, which is very important component, that has also been added, and some additional characters, if it is quality or some mass derived varieties there, so those characters will also be taken care of. And price control, in case of very emergent situation, the government has put a subsection that the government can control the prices of the various quality of seeds. Then import and export, again, that is a very important activity. So in that case, this import and export is being taken care of by the EXIM committee, and the Plant Quarantine Regulation and Import Act into India, Order 2003, is being followed. So in that, for import, we have to ensure that the seed should have the minimum standards which we are following in our country, along with the seed health that should meet out, and the multi-location testing will have to be done. Now also through EXIM, whatsoever the seed is coming, we are doing the multi-location testing through our AICRP system, then only the bulk seed is allowed to any of the public or private sector. And this import of transgenic varieties, that will be dealt under the Environmental Protection Act 1986. And enhancement of penalty, that is one of the very big issue which I think has been favoring this bill. Earlier there was 500 or 1000 penalty was there in case of the spurious seed, or you are not following the various guidelines under the Seed Act. But now those penalties, they have been enhanced very highly. So the first offense, one will be having 50,000 to 5 lakhs penalty. In second offense, it is 1 lakh to 10 lakhs, and finally the third or the subsequent offenses, it may be 10 lakhs with 1 year imprisonment. So that is the one of the change if it is accepted by the Parliament. And the provision for researchers, generally under the rules it will come, so that will be as usual. Earlier under the this seed act for the public sector, and the farmers will be exempted for registration and all those things, except if they are selling the branded seed. If they are selling the branded seed, then definitely they will have to go for the registration. Otherwise, they are free from that. So these are some of the points regarding the seed policy which is happening now, and the bill will be placed next time.